Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Saltcity Racing Facebook Live number 3, right, Nick?
Number 3. Here we go.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in and stuff. Let's get some updates going stuff. We've had an exciting week over at the Hutchinson track. We bought Mike in to take care of the dirt. And for those of you who don't know who Mike is, I will tell everybody, I'll say this again too. All I know about dirt is it's brown. Some places it's black, though, isn't it? Sometimes in Iowa it's black. So I went after the best of the best, what I thought, to help us come over here and start prepping on this racetrack. And Mike has done a phenomenal job. You've seen some pictures. Nick, have you updated the latest pictures so far?
I am posting some pictures right now.
So you can jump on there and check out the latest pictures. Mike has really transformed this racetrack into what it needs to be. Still got a lot of work ahead of us yet, too, before we get to the next deal. But we are getting very close to race day. You know it?
Yes, we are. It's going to be here before you know it, about 45 days out. So,
So
here we go.
So anyway, so Mike is really, I didn't realize what you look for in a racetrack. He has taught us so much this week of what to look at, what to do, how to prep, and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing how much dirt he moved in 3 days.
Oh, man, it's crazy. Changing the high spots and the low spots. And there was so much extra dirt out there that they had piled up, and he used 100% of it and then some to get it to where it needs to be. And yeah, like you said, just learned so much. He talked about a lot of things that, we've just, as racers, just going to the racetrack every week that we've really never thought about when it came to the racetrack.
I know him showing us what to look for, what he saw. This afternoon, we actually walked that track to go through it again. Last night he did a Facebook Live showing the track from that part. So it was very interesting. Now we've learned some more things of what we're going to do going forward from that part. But I think we're going to have us a great racing service racers. That's one thing I promised you, that I will do my best to do everything I could. That's why I hired Mike to go out there and get that done, to put things in play, to make sure that this is a good surface. And I'm going to tell you, if we keep things moving the right way, I think we're going to have some pretty wide track racing on that racetrack, which is going to be fun. So stay tuned. We'll see how it goes from that part. And again, can't thank Murphy Tractor and Equipment, Curtis and Dan for the equipment. Brought second to none equipment over there for us, right?
Awesome stuff, man. Just state of the art, brand new stuff. Just couldn't ask for a better group of guys there. And also, Richardson Brothers Construction brought us over a few things to use.
Yeah, John brought over a John Deere and a Blocks blade, which we're going to have to keep there, too, to keep using. So thank you, Richardson Brothers Construction. They're a big part of helping us get this thing put together, and relationships there in Hutchinson. So can't thank those guys enough. Is Kyler getting on the air here yet?
Kyler's coming. He's in the queue, but he ain't come through here yet. So we're getting him.
We'll get him in here in just a little bit.
And Hample Oil brought us out a big fuel tank put out there full of diesel fuel, so we can keep making laps around that place.
We burned a little diesel too, didn't we?
We did burn a little diesel this week. Yeah, definitely.
So the Hample Group, thank you very much for bringing out the fuel tank, and it's sitting there in the infield. It'll keep us stocked up going through the year, as we need more diesel fuel and that kind of stuff too. So can't thank those guys enough also. But I think it's going to take a little bit more, walking around the track tonight, this afternoon with Mike, and showing a few more things that we still need to do. But basically the track's going to set now. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get in here and get a good base. And I'm going to tell you, other than the front straightaway underneath that grandstand where it shades it, he's got that track dialed in pretty hard. It just needs a little more time to dry out that racetrack there in the top, and we'll see how all that comes into play. But Mike did us a fantastic job. And yes, we are bringing him back right before the race. He'll be there the day before the 26th. He'll be there on the 25th, and he's going to be there on the 26th to help us go through what we need to have to make that happen too. So if you want to go check it out, you can look over the wall and kind of check it out. Several people have done that already. So it's just going to be fun and exciting to get things started on the 26th. So anyway, got Kyler finally dialing in.
Yeah. Hey, Kyler, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah. So, hey, Kyler, we kind of talked to everybody about the track and what Mike did. You got your chance to walk around that racetrack today too, and everything else too. So tell everybody your opinion of what the track looks like now, what you see, what you think from that part.
Yeah. I think I think the big part of this deal is that the reshaping of it makes a little bit more sense. I think as you enter the corners, we talked about it's not completely 1 degree all the way around. It's got multiple degrees, so you can enter into the corners, come off the corners a little better. what that's going to do probably is hopefully push the line up a little bit, so it's just not around the bottom. I think that he's really bringing out the science to auto racing there at the fairgrounds. I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, just to listen to him talk about what he sees, what he's doing, what he wants to make happen at that racetrack, and where to get the groove and how to not to get the groove and where to get the cushion and all that kind of stuff. And it's like I said, as the show started, Kyler is, I think I went after the best. If NASCAR is going to hire him to take care of Bristol, I think he can take care of Hutch, don't you think?
Well, yeah, for sure. And the best part about it is he is 110% optimistic that he's going to fix the rubbering problem there at the fairground. So he's confident that he's done the right actions to make that the best racing surface around.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited for that, and excited that just to give the racers a good track to run on, but also to give it a good show for the crowd. I think that's what's going to be fun too. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, 100%. And I think we get multiple grooves in that thing. I mean, kind of to your point, when we walked around there with Mike, he just says, okay, we blade it. You want to blade it a little bit different here, so it kind of cups it here, and then over here not so much. And when you water it, water it a bunch here, but don't water it a bunch here, and it's going to make it's going to force the cars to make another lane. And so it's just really a lot of things that you don't think about, and it's all going to make for a much better experience for everybody, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, go ahead, Kyler.
Well, and then just to have him come back on opening night and make sure that it's done right for the opener, I think is going to be huge too. We can kind of learn a little bit more from him, and he can see how it races, and hell, he might even make some changes at that point too. Depending on what he sees live. So his experience is going to be welcome for sure.
Yeah, and I will tell you that we're going to bring him back, like you said, the Thursday before the first race, and he'll be there Friday during the race and all that stuff too. And as we see fit, I will bring him back as often as I need to till we get it dialed in and everything else too. We got the big July race coming with the 100 lapper, and I talked to him a lot about that from that standpoint to what it's going to take there to make sure that track's ready to go. And it's kind of like today when I got out of the truck and stepped out there and started talking to him. I asked him, tell me how you feel, what you see here. And he says, well, I'm going to tell you. He said, that first drone footage you put up over the first week, and I first saw that, he said, oh my God, what kind of a deal did I get myself into? So, and it was a mess. That big pile of dirt in there, he's moved all that out of the way and everything else too. Nick, are the pictures up?
Yeah, they're up. So
if you want to look at that Facebook page, you can see the pictures. What he just took as he did his final grade before he left there tonight and head back up to Iowa. So you can see that part too, but he did say he felt very good about what he sees, what he's got. He just wished that front straightaway would have been a little bit drier when he got there to try to work that a little bit more. But again, we got to let it set, let it dry now. I even talked to him about what should we do? Can we do anything? Should we do anything? He says, no, leave it alone. Let Mother Nature do its course. Hope we get some good rain showers coming in here that'll help it. So from that part.
Yeah, but even the front straightaway, still being a little soft and not being able to work it as much. I mean, after he's been working on the racetrack for the last 3 days, I think it still looks probably better than a lot of front straightaways that we've raced on. So, I mean, it's just the racetrack's in really good shape. You can't say enough for that guy.
Yeah, Kyler, I'm going to tell you the questions and of course we had Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton's going to help us run the grader and stuff like that from Hayes. Of course, he's right there in Hutchinson, but I think the questions you asked him about your racetrack at Dodge is going to help you too, I think.
Well, sure. And, it takes an army to do what we do. And any help that we can get to make our racing better for everybody here in Kansas is going to be well welcomed. I mean, we're not stubborn. We want to take advice and make everything better, and that's what's tickling me about being part of Hutch and Dodge City is the more knowledge I learn from different people and around, it's going to make us better as a whole in my organization as well,
Yeah, I agree with that too. And it's like you said, the more better racing we make for everybody and learn from him. And that's what I love about him. I went over there with him Monday evening and spent Monday evening with him. And he's just full of knowledge and he's willing to share it. He's not willing, a lot of people want to hide their knowledge or talent or whatever, what he's doing, but he's not. He's ready to share it. He's ready to do it. And he's kind of like we are. He wants racing to be fun, exciting for the crowds and stuff. So it was fun to sit there and talk to him. And, the other thing is he runs a lot of races. So he's got what works, what doesn't work and all that kind of stuff. So he's given Nick and I a lot of tips on what to not do to run a race and what to do. So Kyler, it's going to be fun with that part too. I mean, I tell you what I'm really excited about. We're going to start off, we're going to time trial and line up the modifieds that way. And I think it's going to make for some fun racing for everybody. It's going to be a great crowd pleasure. But Kyler, if that works very well, I know you might have to look at doing that in Dodge, but I'm almost thinking if it works out well, let's try the stock cars too, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. It's going to make for definitely an interesting show for fans and racers alike. I mean, racers going to have to get elbows up in them heat races if you qualify in the top part of the field, but that's what it's all about, right?
That's right. So what do you think, Kyler? Maybe a little qualifying at Dodge City too, or?
Well, we're allowed so many redraw nights being a weekly IMCA track, so I think it's a conversation I need to have with IMCA to see if we can do that a couple times, because I really like that format, and I think the drivers will too. And that's what makes Hutch really unique, is that it's not a weekly racetrack, so we don't have to necessarily follow IMCA protocols as far as lineups go and stuff like that. So we can experiment with some of those different things, and hopefully they allow us to do some of those different things on our redraw nights that we do at Dodge. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
And Kyler, you're exactly correct. That's why I can do that, is because we're not a weekly racing track. I had this covered before. When I talked to Jim Standard and Brett Root from IMCA about doing this. They're all for it. And I'm hoping maybe we have such good success with it and stuff that maybe some other tracks will pick up on it and do kind of the same thing, or even maybe have it to where they can do it once a month, like, of a situation, instead of being not every week or weekend on a daily race, on a weekly racetrack or whatever. But I hope this creates some excitement throughout.
Yeah. And there's no reason why it won't, I mean, as a driver, I think, I liked being in those elbows up situations. And when you actually had to get out there and race it, I mean, it's always cool to start on the front row and just drive off if you're fast, but that kind of gets boring out there sometimes, I think. But this will be really exciting.
Kyler, don't you time trial your sprint cars?
Yeah, we're time trialing the sprint cars this year, and it makes an added experience for the fans as well, and it really does something for the drivers. They're all excited about it. They're not just relying on their pill draw to set their night for them. They've got to earn what they're doing. Plus, to start out our season, not to get off of Hutch a little bit, but we're doing a full shuffle, which might be kind of cool to look out at Hutch at some point too, where we take the top 8 that we lock into the show on Saturday for this opener we have. They 7th place and 8th place will go out there and time trial again for the full shuffle, and then the whoever wins keeps staying out there. So if you have the 8 pill, you have the option to get all the way up to that pole position if you'd like. But if you're first, if you do the 1 pill, you'll start no worse than second. So it's going to be a neat format for sure. Maybe we can implement that a little bit in a few shows at Hutch as well.
It could be. That's a lot of exciting stuff we can do. Excited for what we got in play. But next thing is let's switch gears a little bit and let's go to the crowd. We got to fill these stands, everybody. We need to make sure that these stands are packed. We need to prove to the Fair Board when they voted to let us go race that they made the right decision. So please get your family, get your friends, get your buddies, get whatever, and let's pack these stands so we can prove to them that this racetrack needs to stay. It doesn't need to go away. It doesn't need to get converted into something else from that part. So let's make sure we fill these seats, fill the stands. I'm going to go back to, again, this is going to be on the front gate and the back gate. Yes, we are going cashless. It's going to be card only, and I got to explain to you why, and I hope you all understand this, why this is this way. I have to report back to the Fair Board numbers of what we did, how many people came through the gate and all that. I want an electronic version that I can show to the fair that this is exactly how many people came through. This is the money that got collected, and there it is in the bank account, so I can prove that we have all the money accounted for, the people that came to the seats. And the same thing on the pit side. I got to report to them how many pit passes we did, how many races we had, and all that kind of stuff. And they want to see the numbers to prove what this racetrack's doing. So I hope you all understand that. Get prepared for that. Get ready to go. So when it comes around, now you will be able here very shortly to get on the Saltcity Racing webpage and start buying tickets so you can get that. Even pit passes will be there. Racers, please get on My Race Pass. Get registered on My Race Pass. Get set up there, ready to go.
Registration's free.
Yeah, we're not going to charge to register. So just jump in, get registered up, and then buy your pit pass online. So all you got to do when you come to the gate is sign the waiver, get a wristband, and in you go. And the next thing is when it comes up, you'll be able to buy 4 or 5 tickets at a time if you want to, or buy as many tickets as you want. Now, there's a lot of talk about getting a season pass and all that kind of stuff too. We'll work on that. There's so many irons in the fire and so many things going on right now that we're trying to get ready to go, and so many ideas that we have and stuff that we want to implement and do. So bear with us on everything that we're trying to set up. Just remember, we got to pack these stands, we got to fill these pits, and prove to this fair board this was the right decision.
Absolutely.
So, Nick, we're going to announce finally how much a pit pass is going to be and how much the tickets are going to be. And remember, these are numbers we have studied hard for a long time to put things together to make this thing be, to show the fair board what we got to do and where it's at. But we haven't announced this for a while because we've been trying to study the numbers enough to make sure what it's going to do and what it's going to generate and what we got to do to put back in the racetrack. And I'm going to tell you, just for an example, Mike, bringing him in here was not a cheap date. We spent a lot of money to bring him in here and have him ready to go to do this thing. So we're trying to put the money in the right places to put a good racing surface together and everything else from that part. So, Nick, tell everybody what we're going to be charging to get into the front gate and what our pit passes are going to be.
Front gate admission will be $18 for a adult ticket, and kids 12 and under will be $12. And the pit passes will be $35, and whether you purchase them in advance or at the gate.
And you will be able to buy them at the gate too. We will have credit card machines running on both the front gate and the pit gate to do that too. I would just say jump in there and help do it online, get it done in advance so you don't have to worry about it. Like I said, when you come into the pit pass, all you'll have to do is sign your pit pass, get a wristband, and go. And then get on racers, get in there and get pre-registered. Like Nick said, $0 to register. We're not charging any registration fees or anything else from that part too. So what else, Nick?
I think that about covers it. We'll have some more exciting stuff coming out here in the next few weeks as we continue to work on stuff with everything else going on around the racetrack. But I think we've pretty much covered everything that we've covered.
Okay, got a couple comments coming through here. Let's is there any way we can do with the trees blocking the view of the track from the pits? Just concerned about being able to watch what the track is doing before we get there to get on the track. Understand what you're saying. Got what you're after. I want everybody to understand we pitted on the back for a reason. It wasn't just why we did it. We did it for a reason. Number one is to keep the pit area contained for insurance reasons and to do the least amount of expense for this first year to hold the pits where they need to be. So that's why we went on the back stretch to block off just 2 ends. Very easy to keep the pits safe. That's what our insurance company required. We wanted to pit inside, but there's no way that insurance would cover us on pitting inside the racetrack. If we pit over on the west side of the track, it's a huge more expense that I have to pay to put up the fences and all that stuff each and every week and tear down to pay the fare. And that's why we decided for this first year, everybody needs to understand we want to do so many things, but we got to get this first year under our belt to be able to get to the next step in 25, 26, and 27. So as far as the pit deal on the backstretch, we're going to open the gate so you can get the cars in and out. And we're going to pre-stage a heat race in before that. So you'll be able to see kind of what you got and that sort of thing too. Hot laps, you're going to have to kind of see what's going on with your driver to kind of report, or jump on your four-wheeler, jump on whatever and run around the front stretch real quick, see what you got, come back from that part. So I understand what you're saying. Just some people also talk about putting bleachers on the back stretch. I wished I could this first year. We got to get through this first year before we can do this. But just understand, we put it on the back stretch because this is the most cost-effective thing we can do for this first year to keep the expense where it needs to be before we can move forward. But trust me, Nick and I and Kyler have talked. And Kyler, we got so many ideas coming, right?
Right. And like I said, we'll still have an area inside the pits that'll be blocked off that they'll be able to watch during the race. It's still going to make it feasible for them to come in and see what the racetrack's doing before their cars go out. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. Anyway, we will hot pit for features only on the inside, and we're going to allow 1 pit card and two pit people per car to go into the pits. That's another insurance regulation that we have from that part for the features. Any reserve seating for this first year? The only reserve seating we've got is there's a couple rows up front for handicap. Everything else on the grandstands is going to be general admission for this first year from that part. So please, that's one thing the fair has asked us is please be notice of where those handicap people are. They need to be able to get in and out. We want them to have a good experience also from that part. Will it be, can you buy general admission tickets ahead of time? Yes, go to the webpage. Salt City Racing has that there. We'll have it up there shortly where you can buy them online and be ready to go. So you can walk up and just, you can hold your phone out. They can scan your ticket and off you go from that part. So you can, again, once it gets set up, you'll have everything. You can buy 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 tickets at a time. I will come up. We're working on a deal to buy a season pass too. Just got to work with my race pass and get that set up and how that works or whatever. I've got a call with my race pass tomorrow to figure out ways we can possibly do that. Now, hopefully we can get it done. I'm not going to promise that I can get it done, but I'm going to work on it to try to get that done. We can buy a season pass too. Okay. Do we need to register if the only date that I can run in the last 2 shows are possibly open classes? Chris, I wish you would go register up just so we've got you in line and ready to go. Very easy to do once you get it one time. We're not charging a registration fee from that part, Chris. So please just jump on there, register up. And again, this pre-registration is going to give us a little head idea of a car count we're going to have from that part. So that's the other reason for that, right, Nick?
Yeah, 100%. And then, really on top of that, pre-registering is just going to save you more time at the gate at the first race because we're expecting a pretty big turnout, and pre-registering everybody, at the racetrack is going to take a while. We don't want you to have to wait in line. So jump on there, pre-register. You should be able to print out and fill out the W-9 and re-upload it on there, or just print it out with you and bring it to the racetrack. And while you're at it, buy your pit passes and stuff right there online, and it'll be quick and easy.
All right, Kyler, what are we leaving out, buddy? I know I need to go through our sponsors yet. This helped us big time on that side of the coin, but what else, Kyler? Can you think of anything we've left out at all?
No, I think we've covered everything. I think, just to reiterate, we're gonna start on time, and I know it's on Friday night, but to keep the show running smooth, we got to start on time. So when the pit's open, I think what we talked about was opening at 3:00. Is that right, Nick?
That's correct.
3:00, and the main grandstand's at 5, and we'll have cars on the track at 6:15 for hot laps.
For hot laps,
we will start racing. Yep, and we will start racing at 7:00.
Yep, or 6:55.
6:55, Kyler. I'm going to hold you to it, buddy.
There you go.
And let's talk about about the classes so far. I want everybody to also understand we want to adjust and put as many race classes as we possibly can, but we also want to have a decent amount of race time for the fans. I don't want to burn out the fans and race until wee hours of the morning either from that part. So we're going to start the first show off these 4 classes. If we see fit, and Kyler says he can get it done, right? Kyler, you think you can get another class in, right?
We can. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we're gonna first start with the 4, see how the night goes, and see what we need to adjust or whatever. But I would love to put another class in. Exactly sure would. Whether that's going to be the hobbies,
the
sport compacts. The other thing you guys are watching, you super stock guys, I'd love to have a couple races for you throughout the summer too. So hopefully we can get our show moving as fast as we need to, and we can add these other classes and have some more fun in that part and put more than just 4 classes on the track. But I want to start off because I want to have a good show. I want to have it move fast, and we're going to be learning too as the night goes on too of what we can do and how we can get things better from that part. So please bear with us. Understand we're trying to do everything we possibly can to get as many racers on that racetrack, but we got to have a good race surface. We have to have a good race schedule and everything else too. And I tell you, Kyler, you've done a great job out there in Dodge City. That's why I chose you to come help us, and excited for what you're going to do there. You've done a great show out there, so I know you're going to do a great show with us.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. Look forward to it.
Yeah. So anyway, trying to think if there's anything else we left out here, whatever. Are you going to add more races to the schedule, or is it set in stone? Chance, what I'm going to tell you on that is the fair gave us these dates that we have to run. I did not get to pick these dates for 2024 because we're so late to the game of getting this approval done and everything too. So hopefully next year we'll have some more dates and better dates that we can choose from, planning ahead. I do have dates in October and November. And again, if we can get some dates in December with the weather we had this year, we'll race in December.
We'll do it. Why not?
But it's just going to take the weather to work with us, right, and everything else like that too. And from that part, Nick, go through the tickets again, because Chris is asking, what are you guys looking at for prices of tickets?
Adult tickets will be $18, and kids 12 and under will be $12, and pit passes will be $35.
Okay. So anyway, and again, pre-plan yourself. We're going cashless, and it's just strictly because I want to have digital reports that I can go back to the fair and prove to them exactly how many people came through the gate. And just so you all know, the more crowd that comes in, if it goes over 3,000 crowd, I pay a bigger fee. That's also why the fair needs to see the number of people that come through that gate, just so you understand why I'm also doing that. I'm not trying to do this to make it difficult on anybody or anything else like that part. I just want a good, solid report that I can take out of my race pass and show the fair. Here's how many people sitting at seats. Here's how many pit pass we sold, and here's how many cars we had come through the gate, and here's the money sitting in the bank from that part to prove exactly what we did. So I hope you all understand that and appreciate that. I appreciate all the comments, all the ideas you have. Keep them coming. We'd love to hear from you on what you'd like to see. Not promise you I can do everything you ask. It's kind of like the stands on the back straightaway. Let's get through this first year, and then let's see what we can do forward with that kind of a situation too. Understand we're doing everything possible to make it easy, but it's not easy. We're all trying to get everything as possibly can from that part. So, Kyler, what else? You got anything else to cover? Let's talk about Dodge City for a minute. When's your first race? What's happening there, buddy?
Right. So April 4th, we'll have open practice, and then the 5th and 6th, we'll have the DCRP Sprint Car Nationals. We've got over 25 pre-registered sprint cars right now, and a lot of my URSS guys haven't registered yet. So we're going to have a huge turnout in sprint cars for that deal. Opening night, we'll run hobby stocks and sport mods and sport compacts. And then the second night, we'll have the sprint cars, obviously, for $5,000 to win, the A mods and stock cars with crazy cruisers.
Crazy cruisers.
In the Saturday
Crazy cruisers.
And, if the weather holds out, I think we're going to have a great crowd. I think we're going to have a great car turnout. And the sprint cars, there's a lot of good buzz right now with the URSS, and I think we're going to see some bigger numbers this year with the sprint cars. So looking forward to it.
And as we progress through the year, Kyler and I have also talked about having some discount tickets if you show on a Friday night at Hutch and you show up at Saturday night at Dodge. We haven't got that all worked out either, but stay tuned for some of that exciting stuff we've got. Again, we've got all kinds of ideas and things we want to do. Everybody just understand we need to get through this first year. We got to pack these stands. We got to pack the pits and from that part and make it happen. So, John, when these tickets go on sale, by there, we'll be here shortly, very quickly. Now that I wanted to get the price out there for everybody to know, I wanted to hit the cashless thing again real quick, what we were doing and why we're doing that situation. I wanted to talk about starting with 4 classes, and we'll go to 5 if we can. Heck, who knows? If we get things moving fast enough, let's go to 6. I don't care. We just got to be out of there by 11 o'clock at the latest from that part. Too. And Shelly, can you purchase tickets at the gate? Yes, you can, Shelly. Not a problem. Just again, remember, it will be a cashless system, so I can track this to the T to report back to the fair board. So there was something else popped in my head. I was trying to think about what else I was leaving off of talking about classes. Kyler, what else? Anything you got left that we haven't covered or anything, buddy?
No, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for bringing me on again, and I'm going to go paint a wall in Dodge City and make it look pretty.
Good deal. I was really looking forward to loading up tomorrow and heading to Beatrice, Nebraska to race for 3 nights at the Spring Nationals. But Kyler, I guess we're going to have to wait another week, buddy.
All right. Well, we'll get a better grocery list planned.
There we go. There we go.
Did you tell Phil I was gonna stay back at the camper and cook for everybody?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I thought that was a given. I thought that was just a given.
So it'll be a fun time for sure. We're still planning on it next week. And it's unfortunate. I was talking to my dad a little bit ago in Nebraska. He lives up there, and he said, North Flat got 19 inches of snow last weekend. They got 5 or 6 where he's at in the middle of the state, and Beatrice is getting a lot of rain right now. So it's understandable.
Yeah, they made the right call.
Yeah, they did.
It'll be a fast track next week.
Yeah, hopefully it'll just be a little warmer.
Hammer down, exactly. So anyway, I think we've kind of covered everything, everybody. We'll get the webpage up so we can start buying the tickets. And remember, it's a cashless situation, just so I can report back to the fair board. I hope you all understand that. You got plenty of time to get prepared for that and be ready to be that situation that we have. I just want to have good reports going back to the fair. We will run as many classes as we possibly can. We're going to start with 4, see how that works, and we'll bring in what we can from that part. I think I'm going through the chat line here real quick, and better grocery list than I think you guys still are doing. All right, Branston, that's pretty good. Anyway, so I think we kind of covered everything very good. I want to run real quick back through the sponsors that so far these sponsors we have are who are helping us put things together from this racetrack. And of course, we can't thank Mike Van Gundren that came in from Newton, Iowa to help us with this track. And again, he is the one that NASCAR hired to do the dirt. And yeah, he wasn't a cheap date, but that's okay. I want to make sure this surface has been done like it needs to be done. And he is, like we left him tonight, he said he was very excited for it. He felt very good about where we're at with the situation. The final pictures are up on the Facebook page. You want to go check that out. Of course, we can't thank Murphy Tractor Equipment. Curtis and Dan, thank you very much for that nice equipment you brought us. Huge, right?
Huge.
John Richardson and Ross Richardson from Richardson Brothers Construction with their equipment, the big John Deere and the box blade and stuff, and all the partnerships they're helping us get together. Signed another deal today with Agri Center. They're going to be supplying us the four-wheelers and stuff. And Kyler, we're going to have us a shared medical deal. You ready for that?
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be, the safety team I was talking to, they had a little training on Sunday out here at the racetrack, and they're excited. I mean, they're looking forward to taking care of Hutch as well as Dodge. And I kept telling them, I said, we're lucky because these two tracks are the only tracks in the state of Kansas that have their own dedicated safety crew. So we're fortunate to have such a good group of guys.
Yeah, and that's something that we've talked about a little bit, but we haven't talked about a lot. That safety crew that takes care of Dodge City and that's going to come over to Hutch. I mean, that's a professional motorsport safety team with professional equipment, and they really have their stuff together. And you can rest assured when you get on that racetrack that if you have an issue, God forbid, that you'll be in the right hands.
Exactly. So anyway, and then on the way back from Hutch, we locked in a deal with United Rentals. They're going to be supplying us their water trucks, so that's huge. And, I can't thank the city of Hutchinson enough. They are actually donating us the water that we can use on that racetrack. So thank you for the city council of Hutchinson for helping us with that. We went and met them went down to city council meeting and asked for what they wanted to do to help support us. And so can't thank them very much for that. I know they're going to do what they can with the city of Hutch to promote the races and promote the activity there in Hutchinson and Reno County. So that's going to be cool too. And then, of course, the walls. Can't thank Ox Materials. Mike over there from Andale Concrete is getting ready to get the walls ready to go. Just got a few panels we need to put up to get that ready to go. So, Mike, again, thank you for everything you're doing on that part. And BG Products. And, again, that's a great partnership we have here at Mel Hamilton Ford. Those guys are jumping on board to help us, too. Those guys are – again, whatever we do together with those guys, it's always top notch and everything else too. So can't thank BG Products. If you're not using the BG products in your car, you're crazy. You should be. So BG was jumping on board with us too. So appreciate BG Products and everything they do for us, and excited to see what all we can do for BG and everything else over at the Hutchinson races. So
that's right. And thanks to Hampel for bringing us the diesel fuel and running that equipment.
And we burn up a little bit of diesel this week. We sure did. Keep burning it up too. So thanks, Hampel Oil, for bringing the diesel fuel over to us from that part too. So everybody, hang tight. It's coming. We're about there. It's ready to go. We got the track in better shape. I tell you, I was nervous where that track was going to be, but I feel very, very good where that racing surface is at, especially after I asked Mike the first thing out of the truck is, Mike, how do you feel? I feel great. And I said, okay, that's all I need to hear. Kyler, any last closing thoughts or comments or anything?
Nope, guys, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, on Grand Open Hutchinson, will you know what time you're all planning on starting? Okay, pits will open at 3. Front gate will open at 5. Hot laps will be at 6:15, and we will have race cars, and I'm holding you to it, Kyler, 6:55. I want the first heat race rolling on the racetrack.
7 o'clock published, 6:55.
6:55, rolling on the racetrack to get it fired off. So, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Check out get on Facebook and like us up so you can stay on top of everything we're doing. I'm pushing this out there right now on all the Mel Hamilton Ford channels. We will back that off here in the next week or two to just Salt City Racing and Mel Hamilton Racing pages. The other pages we won't. I'm just trying to get as many viewers over and everybody can get on this page to see what's all there. Tune in next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We'll have some more updates and everything else for you. Thank you to everybody that's helping us. And as it all says, let's go race.
Let's go.
Everybody have a great night. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
See you later.
Bye.